Chris, thank you very much for joining us ahead of the Shrewsbury game. First off, can you give us a little bit of insight into how the international break has looked for you and the team?
Yeah, it's been good. We've had a mixture of time off and training time. So, it's been a good opportunity to take a step back, refresh, recover. Some players have been away on international duty. That's all gone pretty well for them. But, we've had a bit of everything last couple of weeks, and obviously a nice training block now leading into our next game.
Yeah, you mentioned having that extra training block. What does that allow you to do?
Well, it allows us to train some players that just haven't had that sort of base of training in the last few months. You know, Jay Stansfield, a good training block for him because he's come in and played a lot of games but hasn't got a lot of training in there, and people that have been playing a lot of games, sometimes they don't train. So it's good for them, good for players like Lee Buchanan coming back from injury, and so lots of different reasons why the training is good. And then it's just to reinforce our principles, how we want to play, who we are, what we are as a team, and then where we need to improve. So it's valuable, you know, from a coaching point of view. You want time to work, and that's what we've had, so it's been good.
Like you mentioned, there was more international action as well. I'd imagine you've been keeping a close eye on the players who have done really well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean they've all done well in terms of Pake's gone away and got some minutes, and with the top quality international side, Lyndon's gone and contributed to 2 great wins there for Scotland. Bailey hasn't played the minutes that he would like, but obviously was away. And then the Icelandic boys, unfortunately, Sam says picked up a bit of a knock on his ankle, but got good game time in the Wales game, and Williamson involved in both. So yeah, they've all gone away and they come back today and they seem in good spirits and re-energised and ready for the challenge ahead.
Is there any outlook on that Samstead injury as well?
It looks like it'll be a few weeks. Yeah, he just sort of rolled his ankle, disappointing, but he won't be too long.
How important has it been to have this little bit of a break as well and assess where you are ahead of what's going to be a very, very busy period?
It has been important because it probably came at the right time, because we had a bit of a disappointing result. I would say I was happy with the performance on that game, but to concede a last second goal that you can't actually respond to was quite a sore one to take. So it's quite good timing for us all to have a couple of weeks to take a step back and say, right, where are we? Where have we been? What have we been doing well? What do we need to improve on? And just take a step back. Having done that, you know, I really like the look of the team. I like the way we've been playing. From a coaching perspective, we need to score ideally more goals when we're up. But if you can't, then you need to keep the back door shut and keep a clean sheet. So, but there's been good opportunity to take a step back, and that's what we've all done.
In terms of some other injury news, how's Lee Buchanan doing? Has he sort of used this time to be able to gain a bit more fitness? Yeah,
so Lee's got potentially involvement in a kind of a fixture tomorrow to give him a little bit of game exposure, kind of behind closed doors type of thing. But he's definitely built up from where he was, because he's played no football at all this season. So I'm really hoping that Lee can make this final step now in the next couple of weeks to become available, because, you know, he's a player that I was really looking forward to working with and using, and hopefully he can get back and really contribute now.
We obviously missed the likes of Ben Davies, Scott Wright and Emil Hansen as well against Northampton. What are their outlooks?
So, well, Ben was just ill, so it's really unfortunate timing for Ben, because he was doing quite well, but he picked up a bit of a bug. So he was out and unavailable. But then the other 2 are just on their way back from their knocks. And again, they're hopefully only a few weeks. They're pushing themselves and trying to get back as quick as possible. And they've made progress, so that's the good thing. But they're still not quite there yet.
You mentioned, of course, the disappointment of the Northampton game. There was obviously a lot of frustrated players out there on the pitch when that equaliser went in. But have they been able to sort of put that behind them? They seem in quite good spirits around the ground.
They have been, because, you know, time obviously helps. But, you know, these sort of moments, the disappointing, difficult, adverse moments are what makes the good times feel and taste even better, you know. So we are going to have these setbacks during the course of a season, and you know, you have to feel that pain and suffer with it, because, you know, that's all part of the experience of being a professional footballer and really competing. So you can't win them all, as they say. So we didn't, and but the main thing was the team recognisable? Did it look like us? Were we working hard? Were we playing the game we want to play? And we were. What we couldn't do was score. But the start of the season, we were scoring, we were conceding the first goal, and then we were coming back and winning games 2-3-1. This just recently we solved that problem, and we've been scoring the first goal, not conceding it. But now it's been about as the game draws on, close to the finish line, you're in touching distance of the win. So you have to deal with that sort of tension, and play and be free and continue to take your chances. So that's something that we can definitely improve on.
Looking at Shrewsbury themselves, obviously the big news there is the appointment of Gareth Ainsworth. What did you make of that, and how do you think his style of football will work there?
Yeah, I mean, good appointment. Absolutely distinguished manager, very experienced manager, successful, certainly at this level. I think from their point of view, they've obviously been struggling, and they brought someone in with a lot of experience. And I know that Gareth's teams are going to fight, they're going to work hard, and they're going to make it difficult. So from our point of view, we have to be ready to match that sort of new energy that's inside that club now. And we'll make sure that we're there ready for it.
Of course, they're a team you've already come against twice, but does the managerial change and the fact that this time it's a league game make it a very different challenge?
Yeah, it's a different game. He's got whole new ideas, different person. Few weeks since we played them, so yeah, I'd say we've got good memories, if you like, from this season up there. But no, it's going to be completely different.
Then just finally, it's a really tight turnaround, of course, then to Exeter and a long away trip. But does that also present the perfect opportunity to have a couple of games and hopefully a couple of wins and get right back on track? Yeah,
I want the games. I mean, there's a lot in the next 18 weeks. Like 30 odd games I think we're due to play. So I want the game. We want the games. We want to play because you can build momentum. If you have setbacks, you get a chance to recover. So, we want the games. It's going to be demanding, but we need to push ourselves. Players, staff, everyone needs to push ourselves to the limits now, physically and mentally, to make sure that we drive through this period strongly. And that's what we'll try to do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.